So yeah, is Java dead / dying? That's what people keep telling me.
I've decided C# is comfortable, and Java never felt comfortable.
I don't understand that because
I know they're the same. That's just the same.
Well, they're very, very similar, aren't they?
Yeah, but those subtle differences make a difference. And I just Java the difference with Java was always an awkwardness, because obviously when it was first a thing, it was just lack of freedom when you used to C++. But obviously C# is the same as Java in terms of it won't do stupid things. It won't let you.
Well, things have changed quite a lot. I mean, C++ is like the Latin of no, not the Latin, the legalese of programming. Yeah, it's incredibly defined. You can
it doesn't change. Yeah,
you've got to really, really decide what you mean to say in C++.
Yeah.
So do you want a const pointer? Do you want a const pointer to a const int? Sort of, just getting into const is like it takes about and all that. Java was sort of like a way out of that. It came with a library of stuff.
Yes.
And most importantly, most people say, or Oracle says, or the Java historians say, the thing that made Java work was applets. You could run an applet you basically run a thing in a web browser. I don't agree with that.
Well, nobody uses that anymore, do they?
Well, not anymore, but I mean, that's what actually got it into widespread use.
But when it started,
yeah. I think it was just the fact that it had a bloody string that you could use.
That's true. That's a very valid point.
Yeah, I know. I am aware that C++ now has a string, and there's all sorts of fantastic stuff in C++. But it's just made the language, the lexicon, more verbose in my opinion. The shift in programming seems to be towards more opinionated ways of programming, so that you actually have to write less code, and you don't have to be quite so legalistic.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect.
You don't have to be so definitive. We know how things should be written. So we're designing languages around that.
Do this and this, computer. Do it.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't understand?
Yeah, so Java's sort of playing catch up a little bit, I think, and it is working. So you get like local variable type inference, which I think you've got in C++ as well. I think auto basically infers the type.
Auto?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
You have a var in Java now, which infers the type.
So
as long as you're assigning a variable.
That's not variant. That's different to variant.
I presume so. What's variant?
Is any data type you like?
No, it's still statically typed in the sense once you've defined it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you do var I equals 5. Well, that'd be an int. So I will always be an int.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Python.
Yeah.
But that's the problem right at the start of learning to program. That is because with Python you don't declare the data type, and then as soon as you start using it, you've got to worry about the data type.
Yeah, I don't understand how people program like that. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Java's catching up.
So I don't see it, but you're actually it's the move towards high level languages. It's actually the progression that way, isn't it? Eventually it'll be hello computer, make me the program do this.
Okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
Magic.
So I mean, most REST control, you take a REST controller. I mean, it's fairly standard what that REST controller should provide. So you need a way of browsing to entities. You need a way of saving entities. You need a way of updating entities. You need a way of deleting entities, stuff like that. And it's actually the REST standard it's sort of prescribed the verbs that you use and stuff like that. So once you've got an entity, why can't you just tell your program that you want a REST controller for it, and it will create all the endpoints. It will make sure that you're returning all the hypermedia links on that entity when you query it and stuff like that. Why do you have to actually write a REST controller?
Assuming it gets it right That's the thing, isn't it? As long as it gets it right.
Yeah, but I mean,
If it gets it wrong, what do you do?
no, I mean the way a lot of libraries work, like Spring, is it's sort of it will tell you that it will do it the way it thinks it should do it, but you are able to change it if you don't if you want it a
if
specific
you
way.
can go in and
Yeah.
that's all right then, isn't it?
So realistically, I mean, you could. I mean, we have this domain. I mean, there's so much web programming going on. You could actually make it incredibly short and incredibly easy. You basically, essentially, create your domain entities, and then out of that, you would get a repository, you get a service, and you get a REST controller, and then it's just a case of building around that to get the specifics of what you actually want.
Yeah, if it builds you the code and there's the code for you to change, that's fine. Rather than magic happens.
Well, no, it doesn't. You don't change the code. If you can override methods and stuff like that. So if you want to change the behaviour of the code, and that feels to me it's like it's the way it's going at the moment, which I ain't got a problem with.
Yeah, if it works, that's not a problem at all, is it?
Yeah. Because if you think about it like a software, if you've got a business idea that involves some software, the software is incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
To pay software engineers to sit there and program your idea, which may or may not work, is incredibly
and
an upfront cost. It's quite expensive undertaking.
You discover the complexity of contracts and actually what you've agreed to. Look, you've signed here and said that was what you wanted. It doesn't work, but that's what you said you wanted.
Yeah.
Too late.
You have to pay us to change it. I don't know if that was interesting or not.
Java.
But yeah, so Java I think is still one of the top languages, but they say it's on the wane, and I don't know if that's simply through its age.
I think it's just age.
I think it's age. It is a bit verbose.
That's what. Yeah. That's why the complaint about it is that you end up.
I mean, it's not as verbose as C++, but C++ has a very specific use.
I mean, in terms of elegance, C++ is just looks better, But I mean, do you think is it that Java, because they've changed it, which I've never liked the idea of they've changed. You can't change it. It started off rubbish, but they've sort of got there now where it's a really good language. Is that what it is? Because when it's the very early days of Java, and then when things started, you bought a set-top box, and you realise this is running Java, isn't it? Because it didn't work.
Yeah, so Java was designed as a sort of like to run on hardware, which that seems really, really quite crazy now when you consider the size of the API. Although they've introduced modules now.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous processing power in that much.
Yeah, it didn't. It changed. I quite liked it when it first came out because actually getting it to do something was a lot easier than in C++. So if you were going to write a Windows program in C++, and you start talking about MFC and all sorts of stuff, it becomes increasingly complex. With Java, it was actually quite easy. It wasn't so easy to write a command line based program, as I think you said.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the library was there, and it drew Windows and did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
And the lack of pointers, or pointers that you can actually use, was brilliant.
Unless you're good at using pointers. It's like, what? Oh no. Okay, forget that then. Do something else.
But what's the point of being good at pointers if you don't need to be good at pointers? The actual
the way
that Java does it is actually really, really clever because it abstracts all that away, but you still get the efficiencies. You're not passing massive objects around. You're passing references to objects, but you don't really know that.
Yeah. When it gets it right. But by now it's going to be getting it right, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's the biggest. Well,
at one point it must have been the biggest language.
I'm sure it still is. I mean, there's going to be so many systems out there built on top of Java on the internet,
and in traffic lights and things.
I don't know about that. I think that'll be C. I think C.
Or
Java.
traffic lights, yeah. But
I reckon C, Java, and maybe Python are the biggest languages, or most widespread in use languages.
Yes,
I think C will be for hardware.
Yeah.
Java will be for web backend. Python will be for. Well, I don't know what you use Python for.
Yeah, I think there was a period where everything was being done in Java, even embedded stuff. That
well, actually,
had
Google
no business.
Yeah, Google used Java Now they're migrating away from that with Go. But they were big. They were big into Java. Which is probably why Android used the Java API. Controversially.
Yes. Well, the local university, the good one but not the posh one, just use Java and nothing else. They teach Java, no other language. So they must think it's good.
Well,
or it's the one they know.
It does. It does pretty much everything, doesn't it? I mean, you can teach OO with it.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? You can't have multiple inheritance or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.